Okay, so my name is Leah Paterson. I met Hayden through social media. He had reached out to me and just kind of little conversations here and there. And honestly, after the first time we hung out, we were just kind of inseparable after that. It was just an instant, like, we got each other. We had our daughter, we were together for probably like 6 months actually before I found out I was pregnant. It was like the perfect relationship. Everything that he did, everything that he said was like everything I wanted in someone, and I don't think we would even go more than like an hour without talking. There was always something to talk about. We were always doing something. There was always fun. Yeah, nothing ever really happened. There was no, he really didn't raise his voice at me. He didn't yell, he didn't call me names, he didn't do anything like that. And then 7 or 6 months pregnant was when he proposed to me. In August, well actually after we had Raylan, when things kind of started to get bad, which, you have a kid, sometimes things get rocky. August was the first time anything had really happened between us. We were up in the Dells for our 2-year anniversary, and he got mad at me because one of my exes had reached out to me saying how happy he was for me, how happy he is to see how everything's going for me, and that was it. He saw the conversation, nothing to it, but for some reason in the back of his head there was probably something more, which okay. And so that night in the Dells, he got mad at me and he started calling me a whore and a bitch and like all these kind of names. And so we got back to the hotel and I just laid down in bed and I like rolled the other way, and he just sat behind me and was like kind of like mocking me almost. And he's like, you're just a little whore, and he's like, you're just a slut, and you're always gonna love your ex, you're never gonna love anyone else like him, and just kind of degrading me. And so I got up I was facing the window, and I got up by the window and I was like walking around the bed, and like as soon as he stood in front of me, and I asked him, I was like, you need to get out of my way if you're gonna keep talking to me like that, like I don't deserve that. And that's when I started to walk around him, and he had just grabbed me by my throat and threw me down on the bed and was like on top of me. And I remember shutting my eyes, and I was just like, I started crying, and I tried to like turn over when he was doing that, and that's when he had grabbed the bed sheet on the bed and like shoved it in my mouth to like stop me from crying, and I just kept crying. And he like took his hands off me and he looked at me, and he tried to hug me then, and I was like, you need to get away from me. Like I was like, I can't breathe right now, like what just happened? Like